What's up?
Hey guys.
It's just straightening my eyebrows, you know? This is the universal energy, or the universal agenda, excuse me.
It's technically the universal agenda.
Universal agenda for the new moon in Aries, and that's one of the things Aries rules is the eyebrows. You gotta make sure those are straight and pristine.
I wonder how many eyebrow artists out there are Aries.
Yeah. And what the quality of their work looks like.
Anyways, like she
That'd
said,
be interesting.
This is for the new moon in Aries, so she's gonna get into the nitty gritty about it.
So before we even get started, I'm going to do a little transit talk. She's going to do a little bit of transit talk, and then we're going to do the card blessing, and then we'll do each individual signs for you guys, and that's going to be like a cohesive big picture for everybody. So it'll simulate a full reading. You know, it'll give you a better feeling, a more cohesive, full energy feeling of what's going on during this time. So
yes.
Okay, so the new moon is on March 3rd. Oh my god, hold on. I'm so sorry.
March 3rd.
I just had I did hit my head a few minutes ago. Okay, no.
Right.
It's on that's on the 24th. I wrote it in a weird way on my paper. Okay. It's on the 24th of March, 2020. It'll be at 9:28 a.m.
Pacific Standard Time.
I'm going to read what I wrote down and channeled this morning. As I usually do, I usually sit there and look at the transits, and then I'll write down what the impressions are, and kind of get the feeling of what we're going to be dealing with. So, new moons are new moons because they conjunct the sun. Conjunctions mean that it's really close next to each other. Within a 5-degree orb. So anyway, so this new moon has more conjunctions than that. It will also be conjuncting Chiron, which has been in Aries for a few months now. The last few times the moon was in Aries, it was squaring Saturn. Saturn has moved into Aquarius at the point of this new moon, and this is a much better feeling aspect called a sextile. The aspect with Chiron and the moon is revealing deep wounds to our conscious identities, things that we're aware of, and bringing awareness to them in order to expedite healing. This could feel like your traumas that have been bleeding on the inside, that you've been carrying with you, that still hurt. I was just talking to Megan about some of my early childhood wounds that had to do with panic and being evacuated and stuff like that, heavy duty energy. This could feel like your traumas that you've had bleeding on the inside are being cauterized. So this isn't necessarily a nice feeling of healing, but this is a true and final solving of something that's been leaking for a while now. So then we have the aspect to Saturn, like I was talking about, will be a sextile, will be one that will give us the stamina to heal and deal with our daily responsibilities that we have duties to fulfill. So it'll help us keep going in the middle of feeling like we're getting all this pain, emotional pain, that our identities are being reshifted and healed and transformed in new ways. And we're getting kind of poked in the feelsies. Saturn will give us the endurance to get through that shit. So the moon also makes another conjunction that I haven't yet mentioned, because this needs space of her own a little bit. It's away from Saturn. That's a sextile in between the conjunctions, kind of just spaces her out a little bit. But this aspect to the new moon will be a conjunct to Black Moon Lilith, which is a mathematical point in the sky that represents the unseen. She's referred to as the feminine version of Chiron. So her healing aspects have to do with the feminine aspects, the Kundalini energy. She represents the wounded or outcast feminine energy. She represents the contrasting dichotomies of priestess versus prostitute. She also represents hidden or buried aspects of ourselves that we would love to set aside, but we need her in order to get the full picture of who we are. She's our intuitive, seductive sides that are channels for sex magic, like tantric medicine, and also represents, like I said, the Kundalini energy. With this moon conjuncting or being right next to these energies, our biggest challenge is to show up and allow these parts of ourselves to go through metamorphosis. Our relationships with our intuitions are becoming richer. As a, we with all this fire energy will be feeling our impulsive sides. Will be able to kind of get a grasp of that I, me, my I amness is going to be a little bit easier to grab onto. So Megan, go ahead.
That is right. So when it comes to the organs that will be influenced by this new moon in Aries, that will include the head, teeth, tongue, serrated muscles, the penis, gallbladder, arteries, and blood. Headaches, toothaches, muscle cramps, and horniness are going to be a little bit more heightened, I guess, at this time, you can say.
Awareness of,
Yeah,
or
right.
perhaps you would have, depending on your chart, you could have a dysfunction with your penis. I mean, we're gonna talk about that because it's like gonna get your attention. Hyper pronounced like sex drive for men and women would be a part of that too.
Surgeries are not recommended as usual during this new moon.
Never recommended. Like, we never say go get cut. Like,
right, yeah.
ever. But hey,
if anything,
we'll have that one time.
It helps you know if you need to reschedule.
Yeah, if you can.
When it comes to hair cuts, hair color, removal, that is a good time to do this, as hair will take longer to grow. And I don't think we've mentioned it yet, but this Aries new moon will be at 4 degrees. And what I'm going to do is tell you exactly what the Sabian symbol...
It was the inside degrees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sabian.
It's not quite the same. This is like a little bit more feeling.
I said the wrong thing. That's
okay.
That's why
matter.
I looked at you. No, okay, so this is the inside degrees. It's similar to a Sabian symbol, as it has character to
There's
it.
just a different style channeling.
Right. So
for the degrees.
4 degrees Aries is a cup overflowing with clear water. And then this is what it says about
this
it.
Big Ace of Cups vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Magic. When someone is ready and willing to stand there and allow all of existence to stream and pour through them, they shall activate the forces of magic, the return of wonder, and the feelings for what can be. Abandoning yourself to the frequency of boundless discovery in naive, raw, initial disclosure. Exhilarated, ecstatic, triumphant. And able to contain yourself one moment longer. So enthusiastic and alive that you must find kin, playmates to go places with and cut loose together. A state of being that begs to be shared, that must be spoken, invoked, and honored. It is the release point for a flood of new impulses, and when given full momentum, it rallies, inspires, sets the world on fire, and laughs so delightfully and uproaringly.
Delightfully and uproaringly?
Delightedly.
That's a hard word.
Uproariously, that no one can resist joining in.
English is such a hard language.
Okay, so
I love that.
I'd like to just mention that, of course, everybody knows what's going on in the world right now with the whole COVID-19 thing going on. And it's really bringing into perspective to people of what could be bringing people together, who you should be celebrating with, what frames of mind need to be throwing out. And one of the big things that stuck out in my mind when I read this was how they are creating a elderly shopping hour to, what's the word? Not take care of, but
make sure that their needs are met.
Exactly.
And without feeling like they're in a rush or being
But you know what? Technically, this elderly and disabled shopping hour shouldn't have already been something that's been put into place.
Technically, I feel like that would be much better, like in a way, for their health, because having little children sneezing on elderly is never a really great idea in the first place. So it would, help them feel safe and like they can be in public.
Like, there's a lot of things that are being implemented that honestly, I feel like that is bringing people together in a different way. It's actually changing the way our world works right now. And
in a more compassionate way. It's more outwardly loving. It's like Aries season will have started by the time this moon is. So that's why moon conjunct sun. Okay, so we will be taking a new direction. It's technically the astrological new year when the sun moves into Aries.
This is happening on the 24th, and Aries, or the sun moves into Aries on the 21st. So it's only a 3-day difference. So it's very fresh.
We're beginning the new year with a lot of changes to society, and everybody is taking because also Saturn's in Aquarius. We're taking a humanitarian view and changing our rules on how we deal with society. But as we move in also to Aries season at the same time, we're looking at how we affect society and how we can make better decisions that take care of not just I, me, my, but make sure that everybody else's autonomy gets taken care of as well. And I feel like this is going to be a really good blessing. Like, honestly, not all medicine tastes good.
No. But you know what? This is also creating a time where, like, the first thing I said was when someone is ready and willing to stand there and allow all of existence to stream and pour through them. Just internet-wise, I've been seeing in our local, like, bulletin groups and stuff like that, people are being so kind. People are just making sure everybody's taken care of. People are making sure to list what businesses are still open to make sure people are
they're running groceries for each other. I've seen people be posting that my neighbors just left me a whole pack of Angel Soft toilet paper.
I saw
and,
that.
And we didn't ask for it. They didn't even necessarily know if they needed it. They just dropped it off. People are looking after each other in a new way. That doesn't impinge on anybody's health, but it does. It's like pocketing. I have a daughter / Facebook daughter / friend on Facebook. Her name's Ask Helpteketh. She's an alchemist / bakery chef, I believe is what she would call herself. But anyway, she's a total genius. And what she likes to do sometimes is she's been known to put things in people's pockets. Like she's a put pocketer. She gives things to people as sly as possible. And I feel like that's a sentiment like this. This is a playful infectiousness of energy where people are just wanting to spread out that playful vibe, but we're doing it in a safer way because everybody's being taken and accounted for right now. So we are exploring boundaries in a new way, and
as a whole collective
about compassion.
And we're all going through a very big energy shift right now. And it's literally at the point where people aren't being able to choose if they're being involved in it or not. Us as a whole world right now are going through a giant energetical shift.
When you open up to the forces of the universe like this in a raw way, it's not going to be 100% comfortable. It's going to be like feeling stretched because you're holding space for something that's you didn't even know you had space for. It's like, I would imagine, because I haven't had this feeling personally, but it's like the description of that feeling of having a child for the first time and your heart explodes and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know it could be this big. I didn't know I could love this much. That kind of feeling of just expansion when this is water, a cup overflowing with clear water. It's everything that you didn't know you needed, but you know is right for your body. It's in complete alignment with you. It's refreshing. It's that Ace of Cups fullness, and also with a little bit of fire because of all this Aries vibe. But because it's in dark moon energy, it's going to be like a renewal, and it's not necessarily going to be comfortable. We're going to be looking at some pretty dark aspects of ourselves and recovering pieces of ourselves that we've lost along the way. And it can be extremely challenging to pick those pieces up and own them again.
I absolutely agree. So that's going to conclude our transit talk right now, and we will move into the card blessing, and we will get to your guys' readings from there.
I've been fondling this beautiful Lemurian quartz crystal that I got from my Facebook granddaughter. Her name on Instagram and Facebook is The Crystal Mind. That is her business page. Go check out her crystals. She's very intuitive when she picks them out. She does vibe with stones in a unique way, and she speaks to them, and when she picks out stones for me, it's as good or better than when I pick out them for myself, because she feels so intuitively what I need for my energy. So just want to give her a shout out, because her stone's directly on my cards right now, and I'm in love with it. So I want to ask you, like we do on a regular card blessing, to participate with your energy. That includes the energies you work with, your deities, your ancestors, your guides, your I would say, like I always say, like the even the dark energies that have our best energies in heart, like benevolent darkness energies, I want the best for us, but they're of our own shadows that we need to seek their wisdom and seek wholeness through, because yin yang, we have to find the light in the darkness and the darkness in the light. We have to have the contrast to
I
get
was
the whole.
just thinking those words in my brain, especially off the 90 Day Fiance when we were, and you know when Ash gives Avery the black rose, and they're like, "Do you know what the black rose means?" And he goes, "Yeah, but from light comes darkness. I mean, from darkness comes."
I'm drawing a complete blank who Ash is.
He's the one from Australia with the big eyes. 90 Day Fiance.
I know I know which show you're talking about, but for some reason I'm still drawing a blank as to who this guy is. But it doesn't really matter. I'm in a totally different frame of mind right now than when I watch TV and have my brain turned off.
But I was literally thinking of that quote of what he said. Like, from darkness comes light.
It doesn't make it any less true.
And you said it.
That's cool. Anyway, you will get the filtered information. It doesn't really matter. You still get the information. So, so bring your energies involved. I hadn't quite finished the blessing, but we ask that our egos get removed, deliver these messages so that the messages get delivered as purely and as to the point and as close to people's hearts as it needs to be. During this Aries season, dark Aries moon, let's get this going.
Alrighty, I'll be using a meditation affirmation deck. She'll be using the Rider-Waite deck.
I want to thank you for showing up. I want to also remind everybody to watch for their sun, moon, and rising sign. And if you want to watch for anything else, do your Venus sign, okay? So it gives you a full expansive view of how this moon's energy is going to be. And if you really feel moved, please give us a like or a share. That would
subscribe,
be dope. You know, if you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you wanted to stick around and hang with us for a while. So that'd be cool.
All right.
Love you guys.
That concludes the Universal Agenda. Bye.
Bye.